Isekai Gen 2.0 is finally out, and it's got a new writing system, new memory system, new NPC system, personality creator, turn-based combat, skill system, quest system, relationships based on personality, plot builder, world builder, location builder, class builder, writing models, theater mode, better attacks, better longer content, better memory, better updates. Check it out at play.isekaigen.com, where I will Avada Kedavra you, cause that's 3 months of non-stop programming you throw to waste. Spring is here, and an anime named after spring is here, and an anime as wholesome as spring is here, but why not kick things off with some new romance anime releasing this spring season? Here are the 10 best new romance anime you should be watching this spring season. Let's go.
Ne, 私が数学教えてあげよっか。その代わり。
いえ、結構です。こういったものは自分の力で解かなければ意味がありません。
Sakura Daimon takes his job on the Public Morals Committee way too seriously. Every morning, he's at the gate, scolding the same girl, Kohinata, for her bright hair and short skirt. She finds him insufferable, obviously, but when she catches a glimpse of the real Sakura Daimon and finds out Mr. Rules and Regulations is kind of a disaster himself, things between them get a lot more interesting.
可愛い人だ。あなたは。お名前似合ってますよ。
This setup sells itself, and I got hooked right away. This kind of reminded me of Dandadan minus the whole supernatural stuff. The uptight rule enforcer secretly being a mess while the problem student slowly warms up to him is something innovative in terms of romance chemistry, and the push-pull between these two is the kind of slow burn bickering that makes you root for them without even realizing it. It's a short series, so don't expect anything too deep, but sometimes you just want something fun, lighthearted, and easy to binge.
強く気高く 美しくしまった
Yep, we got ourselves another villainous anime, and this time we're moving to the POV of the prince. Crown Prince Cecil has seen it all, and the guy's bored. That changes when he meets Bertia, his fiance who's convinced she's the villainess of an Otame game, and is dead serious about playing the role. Problem is, her evil schemes keep backfiring into some really wholesome moments, and she has absolutely zero self-awareness about it.
必ず殿下とヒロインのハッピーエンドにしますから。
私の話はほとんど聞いていない感じだね。
This one's a hidden gem for isekai villainous fans. What makes it fun is watching Bertia dramatically plot her villainous moves while Cecil just stands there, fully aware she's the most accidentally kind person in the room, and falling for her anyway. The comedy lands because the gap between what Bertia thinks she's doing versus what she's actually doing never gets old. I'm someone who is tired of the villainous trope the same way a lot of people are tired with isekai anime, so when I say this is good, you gotta give this a go.
また殺されてしまったのですね。探偵様。
Sakuya Otsuki is the son of a legendary detective, and like any good legacy kid, he's got something to prove. Alongside his assistant Lilithia, he takes on cases that most high schoolers wouldn't touch. But there's a twist. He keeps dying in them, every single time. His latest mission has him undercover on a luxury cruise ship, and shocker, he gets murdered again. But each time he wakes up, Lilithia is right there.
でしたら、咲夜様と私、二人で一人前といたしましょう。
Hey, I know what you're thinking. It's some smartass trying to mix in ReZero with Detective is Already Dead, and it kinda is. Except I don't think they do the mystery aspect really well. The dying and rewinding gimmicks get stale fast, but the dynamic between Sakuya and Lilithia keeps things moving, at least for me. Now, I say that because a lot of people hated this anime, but at least give the first 2 episodes a try. Kanan is a centuries-old demon who shows up in the human world ready to snack on some poor kid's soul. Her target is a completely ordinary high schooler named Yuji Kuyogi, except instead of eating him, she somehow ends up in a romantic contract with the guy. Now, this ancient, powerful demon has to figure out dating, hand-holding, and whatever feelings keep making her flustered, and she is absolutely not equipped for any of it.
調子に乗りすぎよ。もう私帰る。
Listen, a demon undone by a first date is genuinely funny premise territory, and the dynamic between a millennia-old predator turning into a blushing mess over basic romance hits that sweet spot a rom-com fan likes me loves. Yuji, being the prey who accidentally tames the demon, adds a fun reversal to the usual tropes. And man, you don't know how happy I am that this didn't turn to another masochistic anime. It's chaotic, it's cute, and watching Kehan discover human emotions one awkward moment at a time never gets old.
一目惚れするほどに
After getting delayed for an entire season, this barbaric, dark fantasy romance anime is finally here. And does it carry the hype? Yeah, a little. Serafina de la Viant is the strongest female knight in the West, until she isn't. Captured after a war with the East, she braces for the worst. Torture, humiliation, the whole villain treatment. Instead, the barbarian king slides in with a marriage proposal. Classic expected enemies to prisoners, but got enemies to lovers pipeline right there.
何の音だ
Look, enemies to lovers with a warrior woman and a barbarian king? That premise basically sells itself. I know the story gets a little too cliche at times, but honestly, I'm impressed with it. The power dynamic here is genuinely interesting. Serafina went from undefeated knight to captive bride, and watching her navigate that shift should make for some satisfying tension. But more than anything, I really love Serafina's blushing attitude. That's some sticker-worthy faces she got there.
表情筋え
Koyoke Hikawa is your classic I don't need people girl who built walls around herself thicker than a shonen protagonist plot armor. That changes when Minato Amamiya decides personal space is just a suggestion and keeps gravitating towards her anyway. Throw in the popular Miki and the laid-back basketball guy Yuta, and you've got four messy, complicated teens stumbling through the most chaotic phase of their lives.
しまった目があったかも多分
The setup here is genuinely interesting. An introverted girl, a boundary-ignoring guy, and two wildly different personalities orbiting each other. The complicated four dynamic means you're not just watching a straightforward romance unfold, you're watching four people accidentally crash into each other's lives and figure things out the hard way. Remember how Kokoro Connect did it really well, and we got some nice drama out of it? Let's hope this does the same.
オタクくんさ
フィギュア買うんでしょ
一緒に買おうよ
Alright, gal fans, or whatever you fans of gals, this is for you. Takuya Seo is your typical otaku flying under the radar, sitting behind two popular gals, Ijichi and Amane. One borrowed eraser later and he accidentally reveals his anime obsession, and Amane suspiciously knows way too much about it for someone who isn't a fan. Different social circles, shared secret interests, you can already see where this is going.
違うのこれは妹がすごく楽しみにしてたから
This setup is genuinely fun. The social gap between an otaku and a popular gal is classic rom-com territory, but the twist of a closet geek hiding behind a pretty face keeps things fresh. Amane correcting Takuya on anime details while pretending she doesn't watch it, that's the kind of dramatic irony that makes you lean forward. It's simple, it's charming, and honestly, the premise alone does enough heavy lifting to make you curious about what happens next.
ドキッとしちゃったか
やめろそんな可愛い動きをするんじゃない
よしよしよしよし
Yukiya and Miku have been playing the dumbest game since 6th grade. Take a turn saying I love you to embarrass each other. 4 years later, they're in high school and still at it, except now those words are hitting differently. Feelings are developing, the game is getting complicated, and neither of them wants to be the one who blinks first.
お前こそ俺に見とれてたんじゃないか
Classic slow burn childhood friends romance, and yeah, it delivers. The whole I love you game is a genuinely clever setup because it gives both characters an excuse to keep dancing around their feelings without either of them looking weak. Watching them squirm every time the words land a little too sincerely is both hilarious and satisfying. If you're a sucker for the they clearly like each other but won't admit it trope, this one's going to have you screaming at your screen. Give it a shot. Just maybe don't play the game yourself, not that you have anyone to play with.
これが春だどうだ素晴らしいだろ
知ってるこれ知って
Oh yeah, the author of Violet Evergarden comes back with a, Yuri anime? Rooted in a myth where winter created spring out of loneliness, this story follows the agents of the four seasons, magical guardians who maintain the world's seasonal cycle. Spring's agent, Hinagiku, vanished 10 years ago, throwing everything off balance. Now she's back, carrying the weight of her absence and a love that echoes the ancient myth itself. Spring is always meant to love winter.
守る人疲れてもダメでしょ
The mythology-driven romance premise here is genuinely compelling stuff, but for the whole first episode, I couldn't basically understand what the heck I was watching until the last moments came along and I thought, oh, alright, this is a Yuri anime. But then, what the heck are the two guys in the poster supposed to do? But jokes aside, the idea of seasons as lonely, longing beings searching for connection maps beautifully onto a classic will they, won't they dynamic. And just like Violet Evergarden, this has this sad, melancholic vibe that comes with a complimentary box of tissues.
朝凪さん。
正解クラスメイトだけど二人でお話しするのは初めてだよね
あ、うん。そうだね。
Meihara Maki is your typical high school loner who struggles to connect with people, until Asanagi walks into his life. She's secretly ranked the second cutest girl in class by the guys, but every Friday she ditches her more popular best friend to hang out with Maki. What do they do? Games, movies, manga, junk food, cola, the whole deal.
なるほど前原ってここが弱いんだ
The title is designed to sell itself as something unique, and yeah, it has some uniqueness to it, along with some famous romance anime tropes mixed in. This one's a slow burn slice of life that doesn't try too hard, and that's exactly what makes it work. Two socially awkward people finding comfort in each other through shared hobbies? Yeah, that's different. And this is one of those few shows that put effort into the couple instead of being another loser boy meets girl story. How can I say that? Because I read the manga, and if you love the story, I really recommend reading the manga.